Good evening, and welcome to Talking Songs with me, Roland Jones. So, how are we all doing out there today? Are we feeling that it's heading towards Christmas? This is not. I didn't realise red is very much a Christmas colour, isn't it? But I'm not wearing it for that reason. It's a dangerous T-shirt to wear, actually, because in Manchester, people assume you know something about football if you're wearing something red, and I know nothing about football. I care not for it. So what have we got? Well, this is a busy week this week, so we've got lots of guests in, and so I think, without further ado, as they say on Radio 4, I think we shall go and introduce our guests for this evening. Good evening, everybody. How are we? Have you unmuted your microphones?
Yep, good evening.
There you go. Yeah,
Hi,
right.
Roland.
Hi, David. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Cath. Hi, Pam. Are we all well?
Hello.
We're good.
All well. Right. What now, David, you're in, where are you at the moment? Are you still in Wales?
It's not where I'm living, but I'm away with a group of friends on a songwriting retreat, as it happens.
Right.
But I stay in Scotland. Campbelltown in Scotland is where I...
Right. So you're in, where are you, Eddie? You're in Oxford, is it?
No, Wiltshire. Swindon.
Oh, well. That's as good as my geography gets. And what about you, Cath+Pam? Where are you?
We're in West Yorkshire, in a place called Oakworth, just on the edge of the Pennines.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So here we are all together in the round, as they say. They call it in the round. I came across it in the States. They do it a lot down in Tennessee, and the idea is you get a group of people together and they alternate songs and chat. So, David, would you like to kick off the evening for us?
Why not?
All right,
I'm going to
there
start
you
with
go.
a lively one, just to wake us all up, or particularly to wake me up. This called Galapagos Finch. He was a chirpy bird from Ecuador, wasn't rich, he wasn't poor, and he moved with the times. Or when he felt the pinch, or otherwise he wouldn't budge an inch. Galapagos Finch. There was smoke in the air, fire arrived, he had the urge to fly. He had to survive with the wind behind, he fled his continental cage. His friends haven't seen him since. Galapagos Finch, it's all in the beak. No, he ain't a freak. And just because that beak ain't chic doesn't mean that he won't win in this crazy game of life. It's all in the beep, 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 beep. He was a dual-bill grasp the day he arrived on the islands. At least alive, but he soon found out that he had got the knack. To adjust to his new world was a cinch. Galapagos Finch. Well, Finch had seed, he spread it around. On every island his seedlings were found, just like Daddy, but not quite the same. You shouldn't need to be convinced. Galapagos Finch, it's all in the beak. No, he ain't a freak. And just because that beak ain't chic, that doesn't mean that he won't win in this crazy game of life. It's all in the beep, 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 beep. Shaped gold, his fate was sealed. He met Charlie, a guy who dealed in promoting the claims of the little guy. Hi! And so the frog became a prince. Evolution, Galapagos Finch. Yes, that frog became a prince. Evolution, Galapagos Finch. Well, that frog became a prince. Thanks for your contribution. Galapagos Finch. It's all in the beak. No, he ain't a freak. And just because that beak ain't chic It's all in the beat, 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 beat. It's all in the beat. No, he ain't a freak. And just because that beak ain't chic doesn't mean that he won't win in this crazy game of life. It's all in the beat, 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 beat. Thank you.
Amazing. I love the rhyming of cinch with finch and chic.
There's quite a lot of rhymes if you look for them.
There's loads in there, but those are fairly unusual, shall I say? Go on, tell us what the story is behind that one, David.
I think it's probably the only song ever written about the story of the discovery of the theory of evolution. So I'm going to claim that as a first.
Well, it's never been said on this program before, I have to say.
No. But I wanted to make it a fun song anyway, so
it's a fun song, definitely.
With a bit of science.
So, are you a scientist by training, by background, or
not at all? No. But I am
just suddenly. Got
amateur fan. No, I like to read about it, but no, I haven't got that kind of brain at all. But
right.
Yeah, I find it fascinating stuff, and yeah,
but
everything can feed into a song, can't it? So.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the fact that you've got this kind of very serious, very deep topic about evolution, everything, and you've got it with this beautiful. I didn't mute my mic then, so if on playback of this you hear some sort of strange noises in the background, it's me doing my
grunts in the background. Yes,
that's my muttly laugh. That is. I'm sorry about that. But it's excellent. But you know, it's like it's a serious topic, but you've made a lot of fun out of it. That's brilliant. That's really good.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Got any comments on that one?
Yes, it's a skill in itself. That it's one thing I've never been able to do is to write sort of humorous things. You know, I guess where I'm coming from, it's like therapy for me, songwriting. Do you know what I mean? I've not had the best upbringing, should we say, without going too deep into it. And so when I write a song, I've got it's got to be serious. You know what I mean? I can't take it seriously myself if I was doing
unless it is serious.
You know what I mean. But
absolutely,
anybody who can do it, because I just it's beyond me, to be honest. Yeah.
I think it's one of the things.
One
of the things that we've discussed on this program loads of times is how it's much easier to write sad songs than it is to write happy songs. Yeah, there's lots of nodding going on to that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
You know, it's.
Don't worry, I've got my share of sad songs too. So. In fact, there's one coming up later. So.
No, but I mean, why is I was trying to? I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I came up with a line that I'm definitely going to incorporate in a song at some stage, which is line. But no, I've forgotten the line. What was it? Tears last longer than smiles, or something like that. It's as if the sort of the impact of bad things lasts with us for. Oh, that's what it was. Scars last longer than smiles. That's what the phrase was. Because I think that sort of sits with what you're saying, Eddie, about upbringing and things.
I was going to say that if you cry laughing, though.
We may well do this evening. Who knows? Yeah, that's brilliant. Great song. I love that.
I love the beep, 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 the beep.
Yeah,
that was very clever. Yeah, it worked. That's. The story was there and everything, but punctuating it with that really.
Yeah. It was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah. It kind of gave it wings.
It wasn't. Just as a point, you said beep there, but it's the word is beak actually, and the reason being the Galapagos Finch. If you know the story, anything about the story of evolution, which I did only because I happened to read the book, is about these Galapagos finches, and there's lots of them on these islands. They got stuck and they've all got different beaks, but because they had their beaks in certain ways, they could adapt. So and that's how Mr. Darwin, apparently that was what he observed to discover all this. And
beak.
Right. But I was just thinking, if you'd have introduced the song and said this is a song about the theory of evolution, the Galapagos Islands, and a particular species of bird that has a distinctive beak.
I know.
There would have been people switching off around the world at that point, I feel. But I think it does such a great job on it. The only thing I know about the Galapagos Islands is apparently there is, it's either still alive or died recently, that there's a giant tortoise there that would have been there when he was there.
Oh, right.
So it's like 280 years old or something or other.
They have a good old Indians, don't they?
They do have a good old Indians. Mind you, I bet they lose their glasses as well, like the rest of us.
Leave them hooked up on the shelf somewhere.
They're around here somewhere. Yeah. There's a cartoon there. I can see that. So, okay, who fancies going next then?
Well, I'm quite happy to go next.
Go on in, Eddie.
Yeah. I don't quite know what I'm going to play yet. I'm kind of ad hoc. There was one I was thinking about. I don't know what to play. When I can. Okay, so this is a song about going to the river. In fact, it's about the River Bolling, really, if I'm honest. Because I used to live like up in Manchester, because I was at South Manchester, around near where the airport is. It wasn't far to go to Style Woods and all that. In fact, I worked at Quarrybank Mill on a YTS when I first left school there. So I used to like going up there to chill out by the river. You know, when life gets a bit thick and you just want to chill out somewhere. And I used to go to the River Bolling and just chill out. So it's kind of about that and that kind of thing, you know. If I can remember it. Right, got you. I come to the river to escape. That's when I feel that I'm waking up inside. I feel it loving through the stains. The day is dawned on my brain, because it takes me, it slides me away, it saves me and takes me to another place. And I lay beside you on the bank. Vis-a-vis Las Villas, you simply sank. You beautify my head inside as you collide through my mind, because it takes me, it slides me away, it saves me and it takes me to another place. But should the world ever find its way, and I no more need to escape, still I'll be here to reflect in you. 'Cause your liquid sky and I collide, so beautiful, because it takes me, it slides me away, it saves me and takes me to another place. Because it takes me, it slides me away, and it saves me, and it saved me again today. River slide, river slide. River slide, yeah, yeah, yeah. River slide. How beautifully you collide. How beautifully you slide. How beautifully we collide. How beautifully you slide.
Yeah, nice one.
Made a few mistakes on that one.
Don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. I like slide, the river slide. I like that. Nice,
yeah, I think if you get a lot of birds land in the roads when it had heavy rain because they think it's a river or whatever, and like, but I imagine like when like a river is sliding down it like mentally, in your head, and you're just gonna drift down the river. But,
well, the Bollin, I mean, the Bollin's not far from where we live, and it is actually a nature reserve for certain things, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we used to swim in there a lot when we was kids.
Yeah.
And when I was a bit older, we swam in it. I think I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was swimming in the river, and this guy, it must have been one of the last parky type of people that ever existed in the world because they've all gone now, aren't they? But like he come over, he says, "Hey, get out the river!" Like, so we was just swimming. He's going, there's he said there was some industrial factory thing that had opened up recently, and they were pouring all the waste into the river. And sure enough, when we got home, without being too
let's not go into the details here.
It was itchy everywhere. Everywhere you had hair, it was just itchy, God. And we by the time, because we'd walked about, it must have been about 4 miles to get back home, and we were struggling. And as soon as we got home, we got our girlfriends to get the hose pipe, and because we both lived next door to each other, me and mate, hose us down on the veranda because we lived above the shops. We had like this veranda, got to hose us down just to get all this itching off us. So I don't know what they put in that water, but I never swam in it again.
Probably best not to know anything. So, as a matter of interest, when did you write the song, though?
Oh God, a long time ago.
Around that time, or much later?
No, it was after. It was years after, but it was. It was still. I mean, I wrote that song. I was living in Sale when I wrote that song. Actually, it must have been in mid to late 90s. I reckon I wrote that song.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
It was just. It was the. I had the. I actually jammed it out with a guy who used to play with a guitarist, and it was just one of those jams, when you sort of. I got the mic and we just jamming, and I just come up with that line, that river slide, and I really loved it. It stuck. Nice. And I basically wrote a song there and then about it, but then I forgot all about it until sort of a lot later. Then I kind of picked it up and I found that lyric. I thought, oh yeah, it's that lyric. I love that.
Well, the thing is about that word slide. It's a nice word, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's a singable word. I know I've talked about this before, that Sammy Khan says this whole thing about it's not just having the words that mean the right thing, but they need to be singable as well. And I think slide is one of those. I like that.
Like I said to you, I kind of used to write poems, so my songs all tend to be a bit wordy in that. But
I have a problem with that.
It wasn't a difficult transition for me to make from sort of lyrics, saying words to singing words. But there's definitely a different way of writing a song to a poem. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
It's like say those singability words, kind of.
Yeah.
You drag them out.
Excellent.
Yep.
Anybody else got any comments on that one?
No, that's very good. It was obviously close to your heart, wasn't it?
Yeah. I like
Did you go back to the river ever?
Sorry?
Has it cleaned up? Has it cleaned up the river now?
I don't know. I don't live up there now, do I? So I'd like to think it does. It has. I'm sure it.
It is a nature reserve. It has certain type. I think it's a certain type of dragonfly that lives there. It doesn't live anywhere else.
That's so funny because the other song I was gonna play instead of that one was a song about Oh no, I wasn't. So I was thinking something else. No, it's just I got a song called Jeremiah the Dragonfly, but it's actually an instrumental, so I wasn't thinking to play it. It was in the end.
You're confusing me now, Eddie. You're confusing me now.
Yourself, do it all the time, mate.
Okay then. So we've had Galapagos. We've had sewage in the rivers. What about you two, then, ladies? Where are we going with? I'm being very careful to say mockingbirds and not the mockingbirds because I typed it in again today. I was looking to see what I was going to put up as the banner, and I put in the Mockingbirds. Think about it. And apparently, you're a rock band from Atlanta.
Australia.
No, New Jersey. Yeah.
That's only on
That's on
every
Wednesdays.
other days.
Wednesdays.
Today we're Mockingbirds. Well, this is a song about a river as well.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
And it's called For One Day Only.
Yeah, so it refers back to the floods of 2015. Well, explain a bit more about it. For one day, a waterfall appeared at Malham Cove in the Yorkshire Dales.
All right. Okay. Take it away.
From Malham town the waters sing until the river's on the brink. 200 years since last I came to tell you now's the time for change. I am your signal, I am your warning, a beauty of destructive fame. I am here for one day only, to help the river rise again. From town to town, through field and farm, your river flowed and did no harm. You took for granted its great power, abused and used it hour by hour. I am your signal, I am your warning, a beauty of destructive fame. I am here for one day only, to help the river rise again. You don't want to see me, I am a presence you should feel. When the rains came you would see the power of the river free, breaking banks and breaking hearts. This is where the change must start. I am your signal, I am your warning, a beauty of destructive fame. I am here for one day only, to help the river rise again. I am your signal, I am your warning, I am a presence you should feel. I am your signal, I am your warning.
Excellent. That is excellent. I like this the device you've used there when you repeat the line but change the second half of the line. The I am thee, I am your. I something I'm quite partial to myself. That one I use that quite a lot, but it kind of drives the whatever it is you're trying to say. It sort of it emphasizes it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How did that song come about? I mean, do you write together? Does one of you write the lyrics, the other one write the melody, the other one write the chords?
We generally sit and thrash the things out. But this one started at
it was a songwriting, the Glasgow songwriting workshop.
Oh right, yeah.
And Emily Barker, I was in a session with the singer-songwriter Emily Barker, and she challenged us to write a song about a river,
right,
and the environment. Yeah. And so I came up with this idea of writing about the River Aire. And when the waterfall appeared, and then through discussion and so on, it came out that actually it was from the point of view of the waterfall, saying, if I'm here, you're in trouble, because this means, this is climate change kind of thing. And of course, it was beautiful, and people flocked to see it because it was fabulous coming over the huge cliff at Malham Town, at Malham Cove. But it meant that further downstream,
it was chaos.
Towns were flooded, and it was chaos.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to see the waterfall, even though it's a fabulous thing. So that's where, and then I came away with the words, or the start of it, and then Cath and I sat down together and worked up the melody for it, and rounded off the lyrics, and really tried to tighten it up together.
All the signs are there if we take note, aren't they? Of nature.
Sorry?
All the signs are there from nature if we only look.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that struck me about it is you saying that it was magnificent to look at, even though in fact it was the sign of something bad. I don't know if any of you came across this, but when the volcano kicked off, whatever it was, 10 days ago, one of the guys on BBC Breakfast was severely criticized because he described it as being spectacular. And it was spectacular, but it was also demolishing people's houses and demolishing towns, and it struck me that same thing you're saying about the waterfall, that it was beautiful, but hang on a minute, you're missing something. There
are some spectacles you don't want to see.
Yes, that's right. It's a bit like snow, isn't it? I mean, snow is beautiful the first day. And after that, it can be a bit of pain in the neck, really.
When we were writing that, the interesting thing for me was the kind of whose perspective are you looking at this from? And it became the waterfall. Yeah, it was from the waterfall's perspective, and that really, I've learned a lot about that with different people, about actually just look at it from another angle. Who's telling the story here? And it gives you a completely different take on the song.
It's very interesting, but it's not only who, isn't it? It's what, because it's not even a person, but you're doing this, you're attributing human thoughts to an object, or not even an object, is it? I mean, what is it? It's a thing. It's
and all that started with we've written a song about a gravestone from the perspective of a gravestone.
Are you going to do that one for us or not?
Well, we weren't, but
we could do. I don't know. We'll see.
No, that's really interesting.
Yes, we'll see how brave we feel, because we're still working on it.
Your harmonies are lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
Really nice. Yeah. Were you writing separately before you became together as a duo? Were you writing separately?
I think Cath had written quite a bit in the past.
I've written a lot over the years, but
and then
I'm always kind of jealous.
I had a little bit, but not much. And then we got together, started playing about 5 years ago. Started playing together at open mics and things, and we liked the same sort of songs. So Cath one day said, "Shall we try and write something?" So on a very hot August day, we wrote a Christmas album.
As you do.
Exactly.
To give us some boundaries, we needed boundaries. So we wrote some Christmas songs, and then we made them into a CD and sold them to raise money for the food bank.
Oh, well done.
So that turned out to be a really rewarding thing to do.
Excellent.
In all kinds of ways.
Well done you.
I don't know about you, Eddie, but I'm always jealous of when I see a duo, because if you're doing things on your lonesome all
Yeah.
the time, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Well,
singing and you
it's
can,
interesting because I wrote a song. I was actually going to play it tonight, but I'm not going to play it. It's called Fallen Angel, and I actually wrote some harmonies in with it for a friend of mine who, well, it's my daughter-in-law to be honest, but and she sung these harmonies, and it just totally lifted the song. You know,
Yeah,
it's like a totally
does.
different song. Just so subtle because there's it's got a weird repeating sort of lyric, and she says, because it's about a fallen angel. And I'm telling the story about this fallen angel. I'm saying what she says. If she said, and then I got her to do these bits when I said, and she said, and she would sing in those bits, you know, and it just sounded absolutely
call and response
thing.
Yeah,
and at the end, we just thrown these things in, mirroring each other on the outro of the song, and it just sounded cool. You know?
I think one of the things with harmonies is that there are, for me, there's two different types of harmonies. There's this sort of absolutely pristine harmonies that you get in sort of like, religious music and stuff like that, or even pop music. But then there's those harmonies that are, you hear it a lot in like bluegrass and country music, where they're not perfect, but they just work. You know what I mean? They're not perfectly timed. The phrasing is slightly out, but they just sound right. And I those are the ones that I like, because because there's two people. It's not something done electronically.
No. Yeah.
And you two work really well together. And
you do, yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah, I agree with David. I'm envious about having a singing partner. That's a good thing to have. Well done. Okay, and it's back round to you then, David. Just saying, we've got a few comments coming in here from Chris Grayston saying, "Oh, I think this was about your song, Eddie," which said great lyrics. Another one from Gary Carey, who's also been on the show, saying that he liked the song. There's one for me here. It says, "You're doing a good job, Roland. I find myself here and listening again." Thank you, Paul. That's lovely. Thanks, mate. Steve McGrady, that was great, Cath+Pam. And from Sarah Jane, well done, Cath+Pam. Is that a friend?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
Another
songwriter. Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes. Too young to be in talent is timeless, though.
But we don't hold it against them.
No.
We don't only do talent this time. I had some rap artists on a few months ago who I met in a local pub, and they were brilliant because they were twins, and like twins finish each other's sentences. Well, they rapped like that. Oh, wow. It was brilliant because one of them would sort of doing his thing, and then he'd get to the end of the line, and his brother would appear around his shoulder and finish the line off. It was just magic. It really was funny. And the other extreme in terms of ages, apart from my good self, is Dana Gillespie. Dana Gillespie, do you remember that name from the 60s?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It was romantically involved with David Bowie and Mick Jagger and various other people. I think that's how it was called then. Okay, then. Moving swiftly on from that. Over to you, David.
Okay. I've checked it out, actually. I was going to do a song that I've written today, but I'm not now.
It's that glass of wine.
I decided again. It's always a bit of a risky thing, but so I'm going to do a fairly recent one. This came about. I won't tell the whole story, but through I was on a creative workshop, and an American journalist got in touch with me and said she'd had this story for years, and she'd never written a song, but she wanted help with writing a song about it. And obviously, it was very privileged to be asked. So it's her story really that she sort of sent to the basic framework of the words, and I've kind of done the songwriting bit, but it's a co-write.
Okay, brilliant.
And it's got some American phrases. It's based in America. The story is so things like gas instead of petrol, obviously, which
I do it all the time, mate.
It comes from a sad story. You'll be pleased to hear, Eddie. but it's quite an uplifting story in a way. I'll maybe say more about it afterwards. But I think hopefully the song tells its own tale. So it's called "The Ballad of Clyde, Burt." Those sunflowers, well, they rise up this time of year. Those sunflowers, will they rise up, then they disappear, heading north on Highway 3, slow trailer ahead of me, 4 hours till I get to Arkansas. On this lonely stretch of road, this lonely stretch of road, I think on stories never told. And as my journey carries on, I come upon these fields of gold, a sea of sunflowers shining down on me. As far as I can see, as far as I can see, at least 100 acres strong. Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Those sunflowers, will they rise up, then they disappear. But something else had caught my eye, a sign that stood beside the road, with words that caused my mind to go a-wandering. That sign, well, all it said, that sign, well, all it said was, we love you, Clyde. So further on I stopped for gas, and I asked the clerk about those flowers. She says, yeah, they're for Clyde. His folks, they plant 'em every year. They plant 'em every year. It's just their way of remembering. Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Clyde was a country boy who lived upon the land. He worked upon the land 'cause he belonged there. And his mom and dad, they plant those seeds 'cause he died upon the land. And his memory is strong there. Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Clyde was a country boy who lived upon the land. He worked upon the land, and he belonged there. And his mom and dad, they plant those seeds 'cause he died upon the land. And his memory is strong there. Those sunflowers, will they rise up this time of year? Those sunflowers, will they rise up, they rise up.
Yeah, nice one, nice.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, the story. I mean, what was the journalist? I didn't quite follow the link between the journalist, why she was interested in what the story was precisely about.
Right. The story is that she was driving along and came across this field of sunflowers and saw that sign that said "We love you, Clyde." And then she looked into it first. She was a journalist and she was interested, she was curious, and it turned out that Clyde was the son of two farmers, and he was young, 21, and there was a tragic accident with a tractor or something like that, and he died. And their response to that was to plant these sunflowers every year in memory of him.
All right.
So, and it is a beautiful story, you know, tragic, but you know, it's just one of those classic tales about the way responding in a positive way to bad things happening, and that makes it poignant, of course. And,
yeah, lovely chorus,
lovely,
really pretty.
But you have to know, Cath was harmonising away here.
Oh well, we should have added you to the mix there. So.
Yeah, there you go. Do I?
It's another show.
A collaboration coming on here, maybe.
Yes, the talking songs, collab songs.
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for that, actually. I'm trying to think of other things that we can do with talking songs to get people, you know, collaborating and doing stuff. But the difficulty is to do it on air is the delay between the different channels. But we'll get around that one day. So sorry, were you saying something else then, Cath? Did I interrupt you?
No, I don't think so.
No, interesting. A nice song. Interesting that she was interested in it, but also that this idea of, as you say, sort of something positive coming out of something clearly negative.
Yeah, and I love this. I mean, for me, this sort of as someone I've never met, and just having this collaboration over the Atlantic, and it's great. I mean, those sort of things are wonderful. Yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot of downsides to the technology and all that sort of thing, but one of the positive things is that just the connection and the fact, you know, we're here today talking, we've never met before, and we're talking songs, and it's good.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
It widens your horizons in that respect.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Have you ever heard it?
Sorry?
Do you know if the people who you wrote about has ever heard it?
Well, I've played it because I was very keen that she liked it, and she does very much. And she said she's writing an article. She writes a regular Sunday column in a paper in Louisiana, and she's a good writer. I've seen her columns, and she's going to write about this and put a link to it soon.
Excellent. Oh, that's nice.
Listen to it,
well done.
It is.
Yeah. Good thought, that, Eddie. Well, nice one. Good. Okay, so over to you, Eddie.
Okay, well, actually, there's a little tie there with that one, because I
seamless professionalism. I love it.
A guy who's died.
Oh,
but I didn't know he died. I wrote this song because what it was, I was in the pub in Avebury, you know, Avebury Circle. They got a pub in there called the Red Lion, and they do an open mic in there. It's a cool vibe. If you ever get the chance to go to the open mic in Avebury Circle, I recommend it. But I was in there, and there was this guy, a chap called Brian, I think his name was. I never knew the guy personally, but I'd seen him around, you know, a couple of times at open mics and that. And he was there, and he had this like cowboy hat thing going on, and he was proper into the old folk country kind of scene, I guess. I don't know the guy, but he wrote this song. I don't know if he wrote it or it was an old folk song.
Right.
It was about the white horse, you know, the white horse on the hill there. You've got the Vale of the White Horses. There's several of them, but there's one particular that's prehistoric. And he wrote us the transition of the Industrial Revolution, and how this white horse was on the hillside watching everybody moving from the land into the cities, and the land becoming empty of the activities, and you know, and the way society just grew from then onwards. And the hook in the song was going, and the horse watches quietly on the hill. And being an archaeologist as well, it really struck a chord with me, literally. And as I was listening to this pub, this guy, I got a beer mat out, pen, you know, the old style, and I wrote this song.
Like a cigarette packet.
Yep, absolutely. Well, it was on a beer mat, but and it was, I wrote this song completely in the pub,
right.
And it's about the Uffington White Horse.
Excellent.
Capo, where's me goddamn capo? That it is.
It'll be with your glasses.
That's it. It's on my neck. So this is called Seemingly Still.
Okay.
Seemingly still for thousands of years, knows the human condition and our ancient fears, conceived long ago in a distant age, when wild horses ran the downs ridgeways. The people knew the sounds of nature like having to breathe, never knowing these shackles we no longer see. But we became lost from that destiny, so the creature they left we only partially see. Oh, but it's there on the hill, you can see it still, waiting for the winter and the snow to fall. Under a blanket of white along the ridgeway at night, the horse gallops by unseen, like a ghost. Now there's many a tale that's been handed down, tales of those who were lost high upon the downs, when out of nowhere came a rushing wind, and through the air they did lift, through the air they did swing. Oh, and some say they were raised by a powerful force, 'cause we only partially see the white Uffington horse. Oh, but it's there on the hill, you can see it still, waiting for the winter and the snow to fall. Under a blanket of white along the ridgeway at night, the horse gallops by unseen, like a ghost. And then I heard it run. So if ever you wander after dark on the downs, and you sure you hear the horse galloping ground, be quiet, be still, watch the ridge of the hill, 'cause you may see an ancient remnant that remains with us still. 'Cause it's there on the hill for all to see. But winter's the key to this long mystery, 'cause the snow starts to fall, it awakens the sleep of that ancient relic we only partially see. Oh, but it's there on the hill, you can see it still, waiting for the winter and the snow to fall. Under a blanket of white along the ridgeway at night, the horse gallops by unseen. Say it's there on the hill, you can say it still, waiting for the winter and the snow to fall. Under a blanket of white along the ridgeway at night, the horse gallops by unseen, like a ghost, like a ghost, like a ghost. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Excellent. Yeah, I could imagine that with a band. That's
yeah.
Excellent. Really, really good. I like that. I was just saying, Eddie, is it a coincidence that you've got a white horse on the wall behind you?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, that's a unicorn, actually.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Not as bedroom.
Sorry, David, you were asking the question.
Just had you played that with a band? Because I can
No,
really hear that
no.
with a yeah, that'd really go down. It sound great with a band.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, you know, I'm just work by myself, really. You know what I mean? As a songwriter, I have been in bands over the years, but I used to be in a band a long time ago, back in Manchester, in Didsbury. We used to do stuff, but I not wrote a lot of these songs that I've sung today. You know what I mean? Well, maybe maybe that other one I did. But no. To answer your question, it's not been sung in a band. To be honest. But yeah, but it was an inspired evening, that was, when I wrote that. You know what I mean? It just one of those
great feel to it.
Yeah.
But also the idea of the galloping horse is.
That's right. You got that. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah,
It's a lot of energy in that.
I like that image a lot.
Yeah, I love playing that song, to be honest. It's
I can see that.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah,
I mean, if we don't enjoy playing our own songs, and nobody else is going to enjoy them, is they? Let's be fair about it. Excellent. That's really good. Okay, then, Cath+Pam.
Okay. So the second song we're going to play is called Shirley Time. So it's actually the first song we wrote together.
Is it?
After the Christmas songs.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was in the April after. Yeah. So and it's a bit of a nod to Shirley Valentine.
Right.
And we're at that time of life. And it's the song we entered for The Talent is Timeless.
Oh, right.
So we got through to the long list. So we got through 3 rounds with it. So we were very pleased with that.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
Look out in the morning, see a bright blue sky. A world of dreams in front of me, my spirit's running high. It's my time, my Shirley Valentine. Life has begun. Every day an island in the sun. I've done the things I ought to do, cared what people thought. Dreams were there inside my head, a yearning in my heart. Sit beside a wine-dark sea, this dream is still my mystery. And I will live it soon, I know, for who knows where the time will go. As I step into the morning sun, I walk into my dreams. Now I know just who I am and what my freedom means. Being who I want to be, doing what I can to make my dream reality, for who knows where the time will go. Find your dream, your sense of place. You know there's no time to waste. There's no right and there's no wrong. Just a place where you belong. So look out in the morning, see a bright blue sky. A world of dreams in front of me, my spirit's running high. It's my time, my Shirley Valentine. Life has begun. Every day an island in the sun. Every day an island in the sun. Every day an island in the sun.
Excellent. Excellent. Again, the harmonies just lift it so much.
Absolutely, yeah, they're great.
There's something joyful about harmonies, aren't there?
There is.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I could really hear an harmonica in that song. I think a harmonica would absolutely kick it out the park.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could hear a harmonica going really well with that.
Yeah.
You want to try it? If you know anybody with a harmonica, just.
I've got one.
You can't play the bass at the same time.
Excellent.
Right. It was funny because I remember when we wrote it, we were actually in Crete and out in the sunshine one morning, and but we challenged ourselves to write a happy song because we could
challenge too much for me.
We could write the sad songs. Come along, and we know lots of sad songs.
Yeah.
We challenged ourselves to write a happy song. That was it.
Well, I've just had a couple of comments come through. There's Marisa Howes. Great song, Cath+Pam, Sun, Sea and Dreams, which fits the film as well, I think, doesn't it?
Yes.
Message from Gary Carey here, uplifting harmonies. Yeah, we'll go along with that. We're all in agreement on the harmonies. I don't think you can sing harmonies without a smile on your face, really. It's lovely. Was it actually inspired by the film? I mean, was it just the fact you were on a Greek island, etc., etc.?
It was the whole thing, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Our time of life.
I have to say, it wasn't completely Shirley Valentine. We hadn't run away.
No.
We were just enjoying that feeling. Actually, we both we both retired from work, and we didn't have to do those things anymore. We could do the things that we enjoyed doing, and that's how we got into songwriting. When all the other stuff had gone, and we had a bit of space, so we made the most of it. I'm
glad you underlined the fact you weren't running away.
No, we weren't.
Does that mean husbands are watching?
No chips and eggs. Excellent. You have to be a certain age to understand some of these references, don't you?
Well, I think most of us here. If not. Well, I have to say this has been absolute knockout tonight. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thanks David. Thanks Eddie. Thanks Cath+Pam. I nearly said the Mockingbird.
Really enjoyed it.
It's been good fun, and we've covered so much ground here, from Shirley Valentine to where else were we? The Galapagos Islands, the Bollin, the Uffington Horse,
monuments,
White Horse at Uffington. It's all in there.
What else have we touched on?
Prehistoric
sunflowers, prehistoric horses. Been fantastic, guys. Thanks ever so much for joining in. And I think I'm not sure I managed to remember to put your thing up, David, saying what your
don't worry about
what your reference was, but I'll include those on the post in Facebook when after the show. So thanks again to all of you. It's been a real knockout. Thanks, guys.
Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all. Thanks. Take care.
Oh, fantastic.
Good pleasure, guys.
That was good, wasn't it? That was a good laugh. I enjoyed that a lot. A lot of
that was good fun. Well done. It's great.
See you another time.
Excellent. Oh, hang on. Okay. That was great fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And all sorts of different stuff going on there. And like, I can imagine 3 sets of songs more different, but all interesting on all sorts of levels. It's it's good. Well, this is all about what it's all about. I've got a few more comments have just come in there. What have we got here? Julie Baldison says here, enjoyed it and lovely songs. Paul J. Openshaw, thank you. It was an interesting listen. My job is complete. So I'll be back here next week. I as usual, can't remember who the guest is. I should write it down, but I forget to do that as well. So there you go. I'm with you, Eddie. So thanks to everybody, and see you again in a week's time. And in the meantime, look after yourselves, have fun, and make music. Bye.